By his appearance before the Foreign Affairs Select Committee in July 2003, the suspicion was Weapons Inspector Dr. David Kelly was the source revealing government intelligence on Iraq had been sexed up.
I reckon you're chaff. You've been thrown up to divert our probing. You ever felt like a fall guy? I mean, you've been set up, haven't you?
A man under pressure, he'd once said, "I will probably be found dead in the woods." Within days of this appearance at the committee, that's exactly what happened. Coincidentally or otherwise, Dr. Kelly had predicted his own death. Found in woodland close to his home, he'd apparently committed suicide, but for some, things didn't quite add up. For example, how did he cut his left wrist when friends say he had a damaged right arm? How did he take 29 tablets when he had an aversion to swallowing pills? And why were there no fingerprints on the knife that he used?
The principal cause of death was bleeding from incised wounds to the left wrist, which Dr. Kelly inflicted on himself with the knife found beside his body.
Lord Hutton's Iraq inquiry was satisfied Dr. Kelly had bled to death. Medical experts disagree, especially as an inquest into his death was started but never finished.
The usual process through the coronial system, which works, generally speaking, extremely well, very experienced people involved in it, but the proper and in-depth investigation into the circumstances of this death were not performed. And that's why we believe there should now be a proper inquiry into those circumstances.
Which experts believe could prove finally that it was inconceivable the 59-year-old could have bled to death.
I've never spoken since the death was announced and the cause of death was announced to a single doctor who has found the cause of death as presented to be credible. And I have never come across, and I don't know anyone who has come across, death of one ulnar artery.
Strong views play well into the hands of the conspiracy theorists. Many of whose forces may have been at hand in Dr. Kelly's demise, even at the height. But one friend of Dr. Kelly says talk of conspiracy is nonsense.
It emerged that he was as somebody who had lied. I think his reputation and his honour, let alone what was going to be human resources at the Ministry of Defence and his bosses, I think he decided to commit suicide.